is the Giants in the Saints matchup. Alrighty, we are going to watch Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley. We're going to watch the highlights because we finally get this Giants team at a win. They put up 27 points. It didn't look great for the entire game, but they got it done when they needed to. So we'll watch their highlights just to kind of get a sense of what they're doing. Daniel Jones getting kind of high publicity because he just threw for 400 yards. Saquon Barkley getting high publicity because he finally emerged here, winning the game in overtime, putting up rushing yards, receiving yards, fantastic game. But before we watch those, we have to see what is going on with the Saints offense, and because we know Jameis Winston, he's barely throwing over 200 yards a game. This is the first game of the season that Jameis Winston threw for more than 200 yards in a game. He threw for 226. So we're kind of saying, should you go to Taysum Hill? Should we switch it up to Taysum Hill? And we have the answer. You can't go to Taysum Hill, and we have the answer why. So let's find out. Here we go. What makes Jameis Winston so much better than Taysum Hill is the deep ball. We know Taysum Hill has a decent kind of dink and dunk, medium range arm, but this man cannot throw deep, and Jameis Winston can. This is why you have to stay with Jameis Winston. So I don't know what the heck is going on with the Saints offense of why it's not moving the ball offensively. You've got kind of playmakers. Yeah, Michael Thomas isn't here, but you still got playmakers. Marquez Callaway, every time you throw to him, I mean, the man is always wide open 50 yards down the field, and it usually goes for a touchdown. That's how Jameis Winston won the starting job in preseason. Those two big 45-plus yard throws to Marquez Callaway in preseason game, I think 2 or 3. That's when Jameis Winston won the starting job. But now they're 2-2, folks. Jameis Winston is not airing out the ball, and it's not leading to points. They only put up 21 points here. They don't win at home against the Giants when it's the first, rocking, roaring stadium game for the Saints in 2 years. So that's still a little bit of a question mark for us, but we do have the answer that you have to stick with Jameis Winston. Taysom Hill does not provide you anything that Jameis Winston cannot do himself, and it was clearly evident here in the Giants game. So let's take a look at why you cannot go to Taysom Hill as the starting quarterback. You have to rock with Jameis and just find a way to make this passing offense work, since it really hasn't this entire season. Yes, they've snuck away 2 wins, but that's not really on the offense. The defense holding the opposing team to not really that many points. So let's see what we get here. And the first play we're going to highlight is the first play out of halftime, tie 7-7 game. Let's see what Jameis Winston is going to do on the first play out of halftime. They're at their own 25-yard line, tie game 7-7, play action pass, and then Jameis is launching up the deep ball, going all the way down the field to Marquez Callaway, down inside the red zone to the 20-yard line. Let's count the yards here that Jameis Winston throws this ball. He's going to throw this one from his own 15-yard line and get it all the way down to about the 25. So we get 35 plus 25. That's about 60 yards. Shave off a couple. We'll call it 55 yards cleanly. That's what you get with Jameis Winston. The big arm and good as heck accuracy. This man's got great deep ball accuracy. So it's just so mind-blowing that with Sean Payton's great genius of a head coach, at least we think he made it work with Drew Brees over the last, 10, 15 years, that he can't make it work with Jameis Winston. So we're still unsure why this offense is still struggling, but we know that Jameis Winston should be the answer of how they can fix it. And hopefully this is the first game they finally have a 200-yard passing game here. Hopefully they build upon this. Hopefully they keep going to Marquez Callaway. How many targets did Marquez Callaway have this game? He had 2 targets. Why is he only having 2 targets? He's your best deep threat receiver, and you're not going to him more often? I mean, every time 2 receptions on 2 targets, they have the chemistry. They can get it going, but Sean Payton's not scheming it up that way. So I don't know what's going on with that, but you have to stand with Jameis Winston, and we're going to keep on seeing why. So Jameis Winston, great deep ball here, and we're going to get another Jameis Winston deep ball. This time, 6 minutes left in the third quarter. They're up 14-10. Jameis Winston, play action pass, gonna launch this one deep again, all the way down. Who do we got here? Who is this? Kenny Stills. And you gotta love Kenny Stills, a great speedster. So once again, why the heck are you only having like 150 yards passing a game when you've got great speedsters and great hands? Kenny Stills and Marquez Callaway, they've proven it time and time again that they can go deep, that they can catch the ball over multiple defenders, that they can use use their speed to get open, but still, this Saints offense is truly still lackluster. But this play gets called back for a holding call, something like that, with the flag. But it's nothing with Jameis Winston. It's nothing with Kenny Stills getting open. And let's count the yards on this absolute monster ball right here. So play action pass. He's going to throw this one from his own 45-yard line and get it all the way down to basically on the goal line. So that's 55 yards. Once again, clean as heck on the deep ball accuracy. So we know Jameis Winston has great arm, one of the biggest arms in the league, and the accuracy is right exactly where it needs to be for the deep ball. Now let's see what Taysum Hill does. This is like the next play, or like 2 plays later. So this touchdown gets called back, and then Sean Payton, for some reason, yeah, we got to skip forward here. To get to Taysum Hill. Now we're going to get Taysum Hill in the game. The very next play, they bring Taysum Hill in, and Taysum Hill is going to launch up a deep ball, and this is why you cannot have Taysum Hill as the primary starting quarterback for the New Orleans Saints. Yes, he can be kind of gadget-filled in the red zone. I don't have any problem with that. He usually gets it done. Great kind of rushing off the edge. He can catch, he can throw, he can do it all. That's where he truly shines, is the red zone, but everywhere else, this man can't play quarterback, and here it is. So after the Jameis Winston great 55-yard bomb that gets called back for a holding penalty, it's 1st and 20. They send in Taysum Hill, and Taysum Hill is loading up for the deep ball, and what does Taysum Hill do? He underthrows the ball, and it's picked off. So we just saw 2 great 50-yard bombs by Jameis Winston, and Taysum Hill just can't get it there. Let's count the yards here. He's going to throw from his own 35-yard line and literally step into this throw, put his entire body and kind of run into this throw. So he launches it from his own 35-yard line and gets it all the way down to about the 15. So what do we got? 15 and 35. That's about 50, but we got to shave off a couple. So we're talking about like 45 yards maybe. And it's underthrown. So that's his max. 45 yards is his max. That can't be what a starting quarterback throws, folks. You need 55 to 60, and that's what we see. Kyler Murray can do, Patrick Mahomes can do, Jameis Winston can do that, Justin Herbert can do that. All the good quarterbacks can throw at least 55 yards, and Taysum Hill cannot do that. So I don't know what's wrong with this Saints offense, but they have the right quarterback. It's not the question with the quarterback. Obviously, it needs to be Jameis Winston because he can air it out and he's got great accuracy on the deep ball. And you need to be able to make all the throws if you're the starting quarterback. We can't have a shallow offensive passing game. That's not going to get it done because then the safeties can press up, the linebackers can press up a little bit, the corners can play press man-to-man coverage because they don't have to worry about you burning them downfield because they know Taysum Hill can't throw it to you that far. So they've got the right quarterback. That's what we truly know for sure. We just don't understand why they're not putting up that many points and why they only put up 21 points at home, the first home game of the season. And they're 2-2, but Saints offense is just not there yet. Alrighty, so you can't switch to Taysum Hill. You just can't do it. All right, now let's end this film study here with Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley highlights. Daniel Jones had 401 yards passing. Let's see how it looked out here. We probably won't watch this entire highlight package, but let's see what Daniel Jones is looking like and what this offense can look like. We get the first play, Daniel Jones running out, and once again, he slips, folks. I mean, Daniel Jones, he's got great wheels, he's got great speed, but this man cannot stay on his feet. Remember last season when he was breaking free and he was at the 10-yard line and just fell and he couldn't score the touchdown? I mean, this man has... I don't know. He doesn't know how to run. He's like a newborn calf. He's just slipping and sliding everywhere. But he's got great speed if he can keep on his feet. All right, here we go. 2nd and 24. That's just a dink off. Saquon Barkley, bonus highlight right there on a screenplay. Alrighty. I want to see Daniel Jones air it out. I want to see what this Giants offense is all about here. That's just a setup screen again, okay. And they've got great speed weapons here. We talk about their wide receivers all the time. You know, Kenny Galladay, Kadarius Toney. They've got great speed. on this all around with their weapons, but you can air it out more. You've got a great arm quarterback here of Daniel Jones. So this for all first quarter, everything's dink and dunk screenplays. It's like, yeah, that's fine. Jason Garrett, we know he's the offensive coordinator. I don't think I'm liking what we're seeing so far, and this is the Giants' first win. So this is kind of why we're watching the offense now. What did their offense have to look like to finally get them the win? So here we go. Now we're there. Daniel Jones deep, 25 yards right here over the middle of the field. This is what we're talking about. We don't want to see the dink and dunk screenplay. We know that has its place, in a couple of plays in a drive here and there, but you got Daniel Jones. We know this man has a solid arm. I think we can all agree on that, but I think it's the play calling here as well. Like, it's the play calling for the Saints. Here we go. Daniel Jones airing it out deep. That's what we're talking about. Beautiful shot right there. Beautiful ball. Let's count the yards. Here we go. Daniel Jones, is he more Taysom Hill or Jameis Winston? He launched this one from his own 40-yard line and got it down to the 5. That's what are we talking about? 45, 55 yards right there. Clean shave off of a couple. That's 50 yards, 55. That's clean right there. Absolutely fantastic. Receiver was able to get open down the field. Who do we got here? Ruggs? Who is this? Let's get his name here. We got, is that John Ross? This is John Ross, the great speedster. This is what we're talking about, folks. John Ross. They've got the speed. They've got the height. They've got the athleticism. And it's finally starting to come out 4 weeks into the game. Second quarter, they're finally taking the deep balls. Look at just straight speed, straight burn speed. Ran right by that corner. Safety was nowhere to be found. And boom, right on the money. That's 100% accurate as heck. We need to start doing this a lot more frequent, a lot more often. If you stretch the field vertically, horizontally, and the underneath routes will open up a lot easier. So hopefully this is just the beginning for the Giants. They really didn't look back after the second quarter. The fourth quarter is really when they got it truly going, putting up 11 points, exactly what they needed to tie up the game and head into overtime. But we're seeing some nice glimpses here. And then we get Daniel Jones again running, using his legs. And there it is. Look at that speed, man. This is solid speed for Daniel Jones. We have to respect him as kind of a dual threat quarterback. Obviously not like Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson or Kyler Murray, but a little bit of a Ryan Tannehill-esque, and that's still real solid. Here we go, play action pass on the next passing. Boom, 20 yards down the field, 15, 20 yards down the field. He's got the accuracy. Here we go, shotgun snap here on 2nd and 9. Nice little out route, picks up about 6-7 yards, alrighty. Now we're starting to cook a little bit out here. You don't have to go screen after screen. And there we go, 3rd and 2. Just a little bit of a comeback route. They pick it up. Fantastic. Keep the chains moving. 1st and 10. Play action pass again. Boom. Wide open there. This is what we're talking about. And the play action is really getting, this line, Daniel Jones is having a ton of time to throw on all these passes. So once again, you have the time, you have the athleticism, you have the pieces, you have the quarterback. We have to start looking a little bit more to Jason Garrett as truly not getting it done. We try to give him all the benefit of the doubts that we could truly give him, and it's just not working out. But watch this throw right here. Absolutely beautiful. Getting it over the corner right before the safety. Great touch. We know Daniel Jones has this. Let's get some more finesse plays. It's working. It's all working here in the second half. That first quarter we saw was all screens, dink and dunks, and now they're able to move the ball because their pieces allow them to. Jason Garrett just has to call for it. What else do we get here? Play action pass. Daniel Jones, so much time to throw. Finds the open option. Boom, 1st and 10. They pick up about 8-9 yards. What else do we get here? We'll watch maybe 1 or 2 more plays. Daniel Jones, play action pass. It's a setup screen. Let's see. All right, you can go back to the screen. We've got no problems, sprinkling in the screens and the dink and dunks. We're not saying that, folks. We just don't want it every single play. That's never going to get it done if you keep dinking and dunking and using screenplays. That draws everybody up, and then you're not going to be able to complete anything. All right, Daniel Jones again. Boom, 2nd and 5. The nice slant. That's perfect. Let's go a little bit in the overtime period just to kind of get a sense of what they were doing when the game was kind of on the line. Hey, we have a chance to win it in overtime. They take the advantage and score a touchdown. So here we go. We're fast-forwarding it to overtime offense. Here we go. Daniel Jones. Boom. Once again, that one-step turn. Fling it in there to John Ross, and that's a first down on 2nd and 8. The confidence here. Overtime. Tie game. We need a score. We can put away the game right now. We haven't won. We're on the road, and this is great leadership, and this is great confidence here by Daniel Jones. And then we get another screen in overtime, and this is what we're talking about. Boom, Saquon Barkley takes it about 15 yards. This is when you utilize the screen game, when you've already established the downfield vertical passing like they were doing in the 2nd and 3rd and 4th quarters, and now in overtime, they're not protecting it because now they're worried about the big play, and then you go to the big play right here. Kenny Golladay, about 19, 20 yards right here inside the red zone, inside the 10, and now everything is working and you can do whatever the hell you want now. You've got the Saints defense reeling. They don't know what to protect anymore. They know you're utilizing every single piece here. Kenny Golladay, Kadarius Toney, Saquon Barkley, you're using it all, and they're able to get in the end zone there, I believe, with Saquon Barkley. Now let's quickly take a look at Saquon Barkley and truly wrap up what the Giants offense is all about. So we know Daniel Jones is fine, and now we get Saquon Barkley. Not the best game, only about 50 yards rushing, 70 yards receiving, but just this could be a nice kind of building block, a nice jump start to Saquon Barkley, so we can kind of try to be on pace with what Derrick Henry does on a weekly basis. 30 plus carries, 150 yards. Saquon's not there quite yet, but he is coming off of an injury, and he had a solid game right here, and he had the overtime winner. So 2nd and 2, just going up the middle, and that's what we saw in the first couple of runs, just going right up the middle, getting the first downs, running hard out here. We get a 2nd and 6 in the 3rd quarter. They're down 4, and it's a read option, and Daniel Jones hands it off, 2nd and 6. And once again, this is what you can do with the game as well. This is what you can do with the offensive play calling because Daniel Jones is a solid dual-threat quarterback. You can open up the run action game, the play action, the RPOs, and all that. The offense here for the Giants really should be the most complicated offense in the entire league. But so far, Jason Garrett hasn't really shown that. And then here we go. Boom, boom. And now we're getting Saquon Barkley catching the ball. Oh, my goodness. If we can imagine Saquon Barkley like Christian McCaffrey, holy moly. Now we're talking. Because we get a nice wheel route here by Saquon Barkley. Here he is. Boom, boom, right behind the defense. He's got 5 yards of separation. Great catch down the field and great ball placement once again by Daniel Jones. The man is fine, folks. Don't clown Daniel Jones. The man can play football. Here we go. And then Saquon Barkley just taking it, and then that quick cut, and then he's got speed. He's a running back, so if you get him out into open space down the field, yeah, he's going to take that all the way for the touchdown. And what was this touchdown? To make it a 21-17 game. They're down 11 with 7 minutes left in the 4th quarter. They utilize Saquon Barkley to get back in the game. You absolutely love it. So hopefully Jason Garrett learned what his offense is all about here in this game. You just have to build upon this. You have to build upon this. This is a solid this should have been their first game of the season. If this was their first game of the season, truly, we're buying into this Giants team, and the sky's the limit. The fact is, this had to kind of come 4 games into the season, but hopefully, like we said, they can build upon that. So Saquon Barkley, Daniel Jones, this Giants offense, it should work. It just hasn't been. It finally got on schedule. It finally got back on course here last Sunday against the Saints, and hopefully they keep going. So Jameis Winston has to be the starter. You cannot go to Taysom Hill as the starting quarterback. You can still utilize him in red zone situations. I've got no problem with that. And then this offense for the Giants really should be. This is what it should be, folks. This is what it should be when it was at its highest here against the Saints last week. So we love the Giants offense and what it could be, and we like Jameis Winston over Taysum Hill. So that's what we saw from the Giants in the Saints game, folks. Alrighty, now let's